Hello, welcome to Michelle Sews Again. I'm Michelle. It's Friday, so you know what that means. It's another hashtag Friday Sews Day. If that sounds interesting to you, then please stay tuned. Okay, so first of all, thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting this hashtag. It is a great way to bring the sewing community together, and I highly encourage you to go and check out the hashtag in the YouTube search bar. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is what I have been working on this week. So as you can see, I'm still in a hotel room. I do have my, not temporary because I bought it, but I have a sewing machine that I bought to use here in the hotel room. I do have, my desk is set up for work during the week. And then once the weekend hits, then I move all my work stuff to a corner and then I set the table up for sewing. It's a little bit too much to move it back and forth at the end of every day to sew at the end of the day. So I'm not sewing at night during the week, but I am going to, it's 2 o'clock now. So I'm done working for the week and I'm about to move all my work stuff out of the way and I'm gonna set my sewing machine back up and I'm gonna start sewing again. But last Friday I shared with you that I had made the McCalls 7909 as my first attempt at a jumpsuit for the Sew Romp Jump Play 22 challenge. This being hosted by V from 85th and WAIWT. I will link her channel below, but that's a really fun challenge that's she's hosting over on Instagram. It's to celebrate National Jumpsuit Day and National Overall Day, which is October 26th, which is when the challenge ends. I made that jumpsuit. It didn't even come close to fitting me. It fit in the shoulders, it fit in the hips and down, but in the middle, the gap was it was too much for me to overcome with my current skill set in the time frame that I have. So I went to Joann's. They were having a simplicity sale, $1.99. I found another pattern and I worked on that last weekend. When I went to Joann's, I just want to let you know, I'm not giving up on the 7909. I did buy some additional fabric because I had used up almost all of it. I didn't have any extra to do any kind of modifications to that jumpsuit. So I bought another yard of fabric and I bought another yard of lining. And at some point I am going to tackle making those adjustments just because I want to try and further that skill. But it's not gonna happen for this challenge. So what I ended up buying, and this may not technically be okay for the challenge, we'll see, but I am way more into faux jumpsuits than I am into regular jumpsuits. My lifestyle, one-piece outfits just aren't conducive for me. They're not my favorite garment. I do love the way they look. I love the way they look on other people. Fitting them to my body is difficult. And I just love the flexibility of a faux jumpsuit where you can make it look like a jumpsuit, but you can mix and match so you can wear the top with other pants and you can wear the pants with other tops. So that is the route that I'm going. So V, if that's not okay, I'm sorry, but that's what I'm doing. So I found Simplicity 1446. I didn't have a whole lot of options. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've said it before. The big four just aren't really size friendly. They do have some expanded sizes. They've got some plus size options. None of them have very many. And the ones that they have are kind of matronly, dowdy. I don't know. They don't have their best patterns available in the expanded sizes. I went with this because it's super basic. These are patterns that I do have in my pattern stash from indie designers, but I didn't have those here in Philadelphia with me, and this was $1.99. So I figured no big loss. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna do a pattern review on this right now, but I am gonna tell you what I've run into. So I made view B for the top, and then there's only two bottoms. There is D, which is the long length, and E, which is the short length. So they show all these different views, but they're just showing you the matching piece to the different tops. There are 5 different top versions. So I made this version and these pants, and they look like scrubs in the picture, and to be honest, if my fabric wasn't so fabulous, my outfit would look like scrubs. So I made the size based on the size chart, both the body measurements and the finished garment measurements, and it was still way too big. The opposite problem that I had with the McCalls 7909. So I made view B, which was the V-neck, and I have to say I don't love the V-neck on me, which I thought I liked V-necks, but I don't think I do. I think I should have made view A with view B sleeves, because I didn't want the flutter sleeves that are on view A. I like the regular sleeves, but I like the more scoop crew neck. Anyway, it's fine. I'll insert pictures in a little bit to show you what happened. So I made view B shirt. For sizing, this pattern is in sizes 26W to 32W. Based on my body measurements, it wanted me to make the size 28 for both the top and the bottoms. So the bust measurement and the waist measurement for the size 28, it's a 50-inch bust, I'm 50.5, and 44-inch waist, and I'm 46 inches. So I thought, knowing that it's got ease in there, I thought that would be okay. And then when I got to the finished garment measurements, it said that the bust measurement was 55.5, and the hip measurement was 56. Sorry, it doesn't give you a hip measurement for the top. It only gives you the bust measurement. So 55.5 is 5 inches of ease. That maybe, I would have thought that would have been a good amount of ease and not too much. It did end up being too much for me. So what I did with the top was I ended up, and it actually wasn't the bust that was way too big. That part, the bust, the shoulder seams actually hit me almost right where they're supposed to. The bust was pretty good. I mean, there was room, but it wasn't too much room. Where I had all the room was in the waist and the hip. So what I ended up doing, I left the top as is, and I just took an extra seam allowance. And it's still a little bit big, but it's a comfortable big. It's not that garment's too big for you too big, if that makes sense. So that's what I did. I just took an extra seam allowance in the side seam, and that seemed to work. Then for the pants, I mean, these are, it doesn't tell you what height the pattern is drafted for, but I know, I mean, I'm short. I'm only 5'1". So I measured the tissue against my body. I ended up taking 2 inches out of the rise and 3.5 inches out of the length. I still need to take more out of the length. I feel like the rise is good, but the width is just way too much. And their finished measurements on the package are not true. So according to my hip measurement, which is 53 inches, I should have made, again, the size 28W, because that is a 52-inch waist. The next size up is 54. Maybe I should have gone in the middle according to my body measurements, but again, I know there was, you know, some excess ease here. When I go down to the finished garment measurements, it says that the hip measurement is 56 inches. So 3 inches of ease in the hip felt reasonable to me, knowing that when you sit, you spread a little bit. So 3 inches sounded reasonable. I just laid these pants down and measured them. the finished garment measurement for the 28W, the finished hip was 60 inches. So it had 7 inches of ease and just way too big. So, and I made the crotch adjustment on the line where it told me to. So the finished garment measurements at the hip should have held true, regardless of the fact that I made an inseam adjustment. So I forgot to take a picture of the top before I made the size adjustment, but I did take a picture and a video of the whole outfit on me before I made the pants adjustment. In fact, I haven't made the pants adjustment yet. So here is the little video clip and or the photograph so that you can see how big the pants are. And what I'm doing for the challenge is I'm wearing this together, I'm tucking the shirt in, and I made a self belt, just a long belt that, you know, it's just a strip. You sew one seam together, turn it inside out, sew the edges, and you've got a self belt. And so then that's how I'm wearing it as a faux jumpsuit. So nobody would be able to tell unless I told them. But I now have a top that I can wear with jeans. And if I had some jeans here, I would style it that way for you, but I don't. And hopefully once I get the pants fit, I'll have some pants that I can wear with a different top, which will be fun. So it gives me 3 different outfits. So yeah, that's what's going on now. That's what I've been working on. The other thing that I've been working on, and it hasn't been much, is I got a couple of more rows done on my knitting. So that's coming along. I love it. I love a seed stitch. I know a lot of knitters don't like the seed stitch because it's boring, but I find it, the repetition, to be very soothing and relaxing. So I'm a fan. Okay, so what's next for me then? So what's next, obviously, is I'm gonna fix my pants on my faux jumpsuit so that on the 26th, which is I am one of the bloggers that's gonna be posting about the jumpsuit challenge on the 26th. So I'll have that ready for that upload. I also, when my husband ended up going back to our apartment last weekend, because the power came back on and he just went down to make sure that, you know, I didn't think to flip any switches off when I left. So he went to go empty out the freezer and the refrigerator. He went to do some laundry that was, you know, left in the machine. He went to turn off all the light switches and just make sure everything was in order. Even though we knew we didn't have any damage, we just wanted to make sure that things were tidied up and weren't left hanging for the several weeks that we weren't going to be home. So he did that, and what he ended up doing was bringing back my 2 projects that I had cut out but not had time to sew, my last 2 Sew Purple to End ALZ projects. So I've got my fabric that's cut out for the Marlowe top, the seamwork Marlowe top that I was doing in tandem with Becky from Go So Beautiful. And I've got my knit top that I'm doing in tandem with Carol from Sew Carol. So I'm hoping to finish both of those this weekend because I think they'll be pretty quick sews. I might not do the t-shirt one because I don't have a serger. I'm not sure that I want to make that without being able to use my serger. We'll see. But the Marlowe shirt, I'll be able to do. So that's what's going on this week. And then the last thing is I had signed up last weekend to take a free fitting workshop that was being held on Facebook. It was a live Zoom event every day at noon this week with a live Q&A every day at 6. I have not been able to participate in it at all because I work. I was hoping maybe during lunchtime I'd be able to join. I wasn't able to, but I can watch the videos until the 28th. So I think what I'm going to do this weekend is spend some time watching those videos. She does give you a lot of like information. She gave you downloads for half size slopers and these are what we're going to be using for our projects. And all of the feedback that I'm seeing in the Facebook group is really positive. So I'm excited to work through that this weekend. And maybe that'll help me with my 7909. I don't know. We'll see. And now life. So I am going home in 1 week. I'm so excited. I don't love living in a hotel room. So next weekend, we're leaving on Sunday. And we're gonna take 2 days to get home, so we'll be home Monday night next week, Halloween day. So I'm excited about that. I'm ready to be in my own space, not just my sewing room, just my home in general. It'll be really nice. Then let's see. Oh, I am going home to see, not going home. My brother, my older brother, lives in the suburbs of Chicago, and he invited all of us to his house for Thanksgiving. This one. He invited us all, me and my other siblings, to his house for Thanksgiving, and we're all going. I'm so excited because I haven't been with all of my siblings for the last 2 years. In fact, yesterday was 2 years since we lost my father. This past week was 7 years since we lost my mother, so that was a little bit difficult. Those anniversaries are still tough. So I'm excited that I get to see all of my siblings and their families, and so my husband and I are going to actually drive up, and we're gonna go early. I'm taking the whole week off. We're gonna take 2 days to drive up there, and the halfway point is Chattanooga, which is a couple of hours away from Andra Makes. So we are making plans to actually meet in person as I drive up to Chicago. And I am so excited. I can't wait to meet her in person. She's just so, I don't know. She's just lovely. And also the other fun thing that we have going on is, because I'll be bringing my husband home with me next weekend, and he's done for the time being with traveling, I will have, I don't have to worry about leaving the dog alone. So I am planning with my other Florida ladies, we're planning to go to Miami. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but there is a Mood fabric store in Miami. So it opened last year. I forget at what point, but it opened last year. And so we're gonna go and do a Mood / fabric store excursion sometime in November. And I'm super excited about that. So yeah, can't wait for that. That's it. That's all I got going on. Wherever you are, I hope the weather's amazing. I hope you're able to get some sewing in, and I will talk to you next time.